My wife and I have been married for just over 2 years, and we recently welcomed a baby boy into the world. He's 3 months old, an innocent little soul who has no idea what kind of madness is swirling around him. And when I say madness, I'm not exaggerating, because my wife has a drinking problem that turns her into someone or something I can barely recognize. It's as if the moment liquor touches her lips, she becomes possessed by a demon that feeds on chaos and destruction. This isn't a new issue. She's always had this dark side, this terrifying transformation that happens whenever she drinks hard liquor. It's as if the alcohol unlocks something deeply sinister within her, something that drives her to the edge of insanity. But over time, it's gotten worse, so much worse that I'm constantly on edge, waiting for the next storm to hit. Imagine this. You're sitting at home, trying to relax after a long day, and suddenly she starts drinking. It's like watching a ticking time bomb. The first sip might be calm, but you know what's coming. The violent outbursts, the screams, the chaos. She'll break anything in her path. TVs, dishes, whatever she can get her hands on. And me? I'm her favorite punching bag. She'll kick, punch, slap, and force herself on me in ways that are beyond degrading, beyond humiliating. And it doesn't stop until she's passed out on the floor, having wet herself in a final act of self-destruction. You think that's bad? One time in the dead of night around 2 a.m., she decided it would be a great idea to go over to the neighbor's house to make new friends. Picture this, a crazed woman pounding at your door at an ungodly hour, completely out of her mind. They called the police, of course, and honestly, I don't blame them. That's just one example of the nightmare that she becomes when alcohol takes over. So I made a rule, no liquor in the house. Beer and wine were usually okay. They didn't have the same soul-crushing effect on her. But sometimes, if she found a way to get her hands on hard liquor, all bets were off. Trying to take the bottle away from her was like trying to wrestle a rabid animal. There was no winning that fight. After my first contract ended, we moved to a new duty station, a fresh start, or so I thought. I invited my brother to come live with us, hoping it would be a good way for him to grow up and get out from under my mom's roof. He was kind of a loser, to be honest, but I figured paying rent and living on his own might help him mature. I only charged him half of what it actually cost to live here so that he could save up and eventually move out on his own. For a while, it seemed like things were going okay. He got a job, paid rent on time, and even found some common ground, playing board games, disc golf, and cooking meals together. But then the cracks started to show. My brother, it turns out, is also an alcoholic. He has to drink himself to sleep because of his insomnia, or at least that's the excuse he gives. And lately, I noticed something disturbing. My wife had started hanging out in his room more and more. It didn't take a genius to figure out why. He had liquor, and she wanted it. I confronted them both about it, made it clear that this was unacceptable. I even threatened divorce if she didn't stop drinking. After one particularly bad night, things seemed to settle down again. But it was just the calm before the storm. Then came last night, the night that turned my world upside down. My wife had a bottle of cheap wine, which usually didn't cause any problems. We had sex, and afterwards she decided to take a bath. It was late, around 1 a.m., and I ended up falling asleep while she was in the tub. A couple of hours later, I woke up to the sound of my son screaming his lungs out. I got up, took care of him, and put him back to sleep, but something was off. The house was too quiet, and my wife was nowhere to be found. I went looking for her, and when I opened my brother's door, there she was. My wife, the mother of my child, was lying in his arms, resting her head on his chest, like they were some love-struck teenagers. In that moment, everything inside me just stopped. My heart, my thoughts, my breath, it all came to a standstill, like I was frozen in time, unable to process what I was seeing. I kicked my brother out immediately. I didn't even let him grab his things. I just told him to run, and he did. I didn't care where he went or what he did next. I just needed him gone. And now here I am. My wife is crying hysterically. My son is crying, and I'm sitting in the middle of it all, drowning in a sea of pain. I don't know what to do. I can't think, I can't feel, I can't breathe. All I know is that I'm in a world of hurt, and there's no escape from it. This woman caught her dad cheating on her mom with multiple women while on vacation. Check out this video to find out the crazy details.